So I'm analyzing Gbpnzd. This was a trade I took last Friday, and I held it for a few days just to see, not to see, but I figured it would do exactly what it did. As you can see here, this uptrend, but I caught it around this area down here. So looking at the chart, when I was analyzing this trade, of course, I had everything marked up from a top-down analysis. I had my daily, weekly key levels, that I was able to acquire by looking at the line charts. So I saw all the levels where price, came down and then made moves to the upside or made moves to the downside. And I saw that price was right around this weekly key level here, around this area. So what I ended up doing was I came down to a 4-hour just to see exactly what the trend was, what was happening via the trend. And I saw a couple things. So from here, the first thing I saw, if I remove this line here, was I saw price was uptrending. So I saw higher lows, a little bit of higher highs taking place, but ultimately I was seeing this, right? So you see touched here, came down, wicked back up to the top, and then it came into this area. So I saw it around here, and it pretty much made its uptrend, broke this weekly key level, and I was looking for a retrace to tap the weekly and then uptrend to the upside. But that never happened. What happened was you saw this happen. Price just, was on a bearish trend, broke straight through this weekly level, and then it came down to this area here. Now, the reason why I took my trade around this area was looking at the 4-hour, I went back to the line chart, and I saw a lot of this taking place, consolidation right in this area, right? So I was looking, and then I came back, and I was seeing that price pretty much came and then dipped, came and then came back down. I was seeing a lot of that taking place, and I figured, all right, so we're on an uptrend right now. Price tapped, came down here. If it comes back to this level, at least we can see price hit this point, somewhere around this consolidation area. And then once it gets near this trend line, it'll shoot back up to the upside. Now, when placing a trade, I was looking for areas of opportunity to set my stop loss. So I took a buy position on this trade here. And I was looking at, where are the areas where I can set stop losses, that are effective. And when looking at this trade, my stop loss was pretty much to a 5 pips from being stopped out. And the reason why I wasn't stopped out was because I gave myself a bit more cushion to work with. So after looking at the 4-hour and seeing the overall, picture of the market, I dropped down to the 1-hour just to see exactly what was taking place. So I saw these, higher lows, higher highs, and then I saw this, a lower high, and then I started to see these lower lows, lower highs, and then price started to bottom out right in that area where pretty much, a whole bunch of consolidation took place right here, right? So I looked for my entry, which was 1.93821, I believe it was. Be a little bit specific, which was, let's grab this right here. Right in this area. So at this area right here was where I took my entry. I came in right here. So I saw this bullish variation pattern. So you see this candle, and then I saw this shoot up. So I thought that it was going to happen quick. So I took my position there. My stop loss was set at 0.93360. So that was about, let's see, that was underneath here. About right here. Right. And then my profits were 94426. So that's where my profits was at. Now, the reason why I set my profits there was because I saw this happen. So I saw price bottom out, came up, bottomed out, and then came up. So I kind of set my, my take profit right at this area here. I figured that, price would kind of wake up to it and then come back down to the line possibly. So I was being a little conservative with my move. But from the entry position, the drawdown that I took was I'd say about 39 pips at the all-time low to gain about 60 pips, 58, 60 pips to the upside, which was a little bit under a 2-to-1, 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. But ultimately, this was still a solid trade because I stuck to the plan. There was, mind you, I took this position on Friday, like midday Friday, because I saw this, right? So I was like, all right, this is going to happen. And I wasn't expecting it to happen Friday. I was expecting it to happen Monday for this to take place. But all Monday, it just consolidated right in this area. So I was seeing, my profits go up and then come back down into the negative and then go back up and then come back down to the negative and then go back up and come down to the negative. And at a point, I was like, you know what? I might as well just sell out my position. I might as well just sell it. Whenever it goes into a little bit of profit, might as well sell it. But I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to touch it. If it stops me out, it stops me out. If it hits my TP, it hits my TP. But I got to get out of the mentality of stopping myself short. If I analyze the chart, let it run its course. If it stops you out, big whoop. If you're not risking so much money and your leverage isn't so high and you're not risking so many pips, you should ultimately always come out on top because you should make right decisions when it comes to trades. So I left it in, and last night, roughly around, I would say maybe, what time was this? Like 5 a.m. I would say maybe 3 or 4, because I think my trading view is a little bit off. Yeah, it's on UTC time, so let's see. Oh, matter of fact, no, it's on New York time. So yeah, 5 a.m. So around 5 a.m. is when my profits were hit while I was sleeping last night. So I just let it run its course. It hit my TP. Woke up the next morning. It was in profit. And then, as you can see, chart pretty much ran for another 128 pips within the next 5 hours. So I could have been, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but this is a solid trade simply because, I analyze the chart, I set my stop loss, I set my take profit, and I let the charts do the work for me versus me cutting myself short because it's coming back down and it's going back up and it's just consolidating. I took the patient route to allow the chart to play out. And ultimately, this is what you want to do. Every single time you want to analyze these charts, you want to look at, like I said, the bigger time frames. Get your entries, get your areas of opportunity. So as you can see, candlesticks would hit here. Like this was a tremendous key level because as you can see, price came down to this point and it shot up about 4,000, 5,000 pips, even more than that with this big wick here. From that point, the same thing to the downside. Like price would hit that area and then shoot down 500 pips, which is solid. So once you understand your key areas by looking at the line charts, and kind of just mapping them out on the graph, then you come down to your daily. You look for your key areas on your daily, on the line graph. Make sure that the candlesticks match up. So look for like wicks around that area. Look for candlestick patterns. You got a bearish engulfing in this. You got another bearish variation right there. You just look for these patterns, right around this area. Another bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing. You have all these patterns, bearish variation that takes place right at these levels. That's where you want to take your entries when you see those little candlestick patterns, because that tells you that, all right, the market is going to move in that direction. So did that, and then you look at your 4 hour, you see the overall picture of the graph or of the chart, see what price is doing. As you can see, we were having these higher lows take place, and a little bit of some higher highs. So that price was going up. So your bias should have been to the upside versus to the downside. So seeing that. And then, you know, of course, on the 4-hour, I took it back to the line chart just to see what was happening in this area here. And I saw that, a lot of consolidation. And, you know, with this uptrend taking place, so this trend line plus this consolidation area, you know, it kind of gave me multiple confluences that price will come back down to that area. And then you had, you know, if you look at your fib, price got pretty much caught up in between 0.61 and 782, 786. So it pretty much got, you know, jammed up within that area from 4-hour. You look at the 1-hour, you know, you'll see going from that side to that side, same thing. You know, price came down to about the 786 level, but 618 pretty much got jammed up at right in between there, consolidated in that level. And then, you know, as you can see, price was just moving up, holding that trend line, and then this took place right here. Once I saw this, that was the confirmation that, okay, I'm in the correct trade. Now I'm just gonna let it run its course. And then pretty much from that point forward, it just shot up, and I was just complete green from that point moving forward. Like I said, stopped out my position, took my profits, didn't be greedy and try to jump back in it at another point. You know, the trade is done from my perspective. And now it's on to the next chart. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up my, you know, like my analysis on Gbpnzd. If you guys have any questions, you know, just go ahead and PM me, send me a direct message, you know. If you're looking at this from YouTube, you know, please join my free Telegram group, Trexo FX. You can find it. The link will be in the description. You know, and I'm just gonna keep these coming. You know, we're working on the 75 trade challenge, so working on completing 75 trades to see if we can, you know, grow a small account to a big account within those 75 trades, taking analyzed trades only, you know, and just really documenting everything from start to finish. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. You know, now we're on to the next trade. Let's get it.